Today I'm going to go over all my tips and tricks for studying Spanish that I have amassed over the several years I've been studying Spanish. Hi, my name is Lenora Santana and I live here in Nashville, Tennessee. So I started studying Spanish with a private tutor 2.5 years ago, but before that I did all the apps. I did Duolingo, I did Babbel, I did Rosetta Stone, I paid for them, I was all in, but I wasn't learning what I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how to speak Spanish. I want to be fluent. I want to go all the way. And so my sister told me to try the app ITalki and look for a teacher. And there are so many teachers on there. I highly recommend you give it a whirl. Teachers for very inexpensive, all kinds of skill levels. You know, just try one, see what you think, go to another one if that doesn't work out. And I couldn't pick. So I just went online and Googled Spanish teacher in Nashville. And that's how I found Spanish Lessons with Emily D, which I feel very blessed to have found that. Emily is an amazing teacher. She's got a phenomenal program of how she teaches the Spanish and what she does. She uses this textbook, which I highly recommend. And I do recommend that you have a teacher to work with you because the pronunciation, it's just so much easier when you've got somebody in front of you and they're just right at that time. They're fixing it because you want to be able to speak it correctly. But this book is great. I have it in spiral bound and it's just, easy access, easy to use. When studying Spanish, you're going to just be bombarded with irregular verbs and you're going to feel like this is never going to end. But I want you to know of the most common verbs anyway. I don't know about the rest because I've only been studying with Emily for 2.5 years and I've never asked this question. But of the most common irregular verbs, there is an end in sight. So study those verbs, and the more you study them, the easier it gets. It's amazing. In fact, you're going to start seeing patterns, but it took me a long time to see those patterns. Okay, y'all, my brain is like, we don't want none of this. We don't want none of this. But there are patterns in there and they're available. You're going to start recognizing them. It becomes easier. So just study those irregular verbs and know that there is an end in sight. They're not going to last forever. And the more, you do repetition, the more you just keep studying these things, the easier it finally gets. And if everybody else can do it, we can do it, right? Okay, so some of my favorite YouTube channels, one of them is Easy Spanish. I love Easy Spanish. It's got them interviewing people on the streets in Mexico, Spain, different other Spanish-speaking countries. Then it also has their podcast, and it has the English that they're speaking underneath them, and it's in Spanish. So you can read the Spanish, read the English, watch the people. They even have people who speak Spanish watch their program because it's just interesting. So I love Easy Spanish. I also really enjoy Butterfly Spanish. She's on YouTube as well. She has lots of lessons, lots of good info. She goes over a lot of things and I think it's good. One of my favorite websites that I use every single time I'm studying Spanish is SpanishDict.com, Spanish Dictionary. And it is an invaluable resource. It is free or you can pay for it. I do pay for it and it's wonderful. So everything that I'm talking about is listed below. There's a more button. Just click on that and it's going to open up and have every link to everything I'm talking about. Another great website is called SpanishExperiment.com and it has loads of information, but my favorite thing in there is they've got children's storybooks read to you in Spanish. And you can even translate it into English right there on the screen in front of you, or you can just only read it in Spanish. And listening to people speak Spanish is like one of my weaker points. I feel like I can read it, I can write it, I can speak it, but I don't know what you're saying. And the more you listen to somebody else speaking Spanish, the better that gets. And the Spanish Experiment and Easy Spanish on YouTube really helped me with starting to understand and be able to differentiate between the words that are being spoken and figure that out. Hallelujah, because I was getting scared that I wasn't going to be able to understand what they're saying. And I really want to be able to speak it. I want to be reading books in Spanish. I want my phone to be in Spanish. I want the whole thing. If you don't already have Google Translate, absolutely get that. It's really good. It is not the be all and end all. Everything it says is not perfect. And sometimes people misspell things. Like if you're translating from a conversation you're having with somebody and they're speaking in a different language, just just remember that even if it is spelled correctly, Google's not always right. But Google has a really cool thing on there. There's a camera option on Google Translate. What is that for? Well, I just ignored that for the longest time. And then one day somebody told me, oh, click on that. And anytime you're like looking at something in Spanish or any language, just hover your phone over that and it will translate it right on your screen immediately. It's amazing. Come on, you know that's amazing. Another app that I really enjoy is LingoClip, and it's more of a karaoke. If you're a music person, if music speaks to you, if music is how you like to learn, this will be a great one for you. It opens you up to the world of all these different artists that sing, you know, songs in Spanish. I found all kinds of artists I've never even heard of. You know, I already had like a Spanish playlist, but I was able to add so much more to it with this. And you get to sing, or, you know, I was just pulling songs off of it and I enjoyed it. And another app that I really love is Tandem. And you can do, I think, all of these apps for free. Oh, I know you can do these apps for free. And Tandem is great. Tandem is where you get to connect with people around the world. They're learning your language, you're learning theirs, and then you become friends and you get to chat on the app. And if you want to, you could chat out of the app. And I have really enjoyed that and built up friendships that have lasted, you know, for a couple of years now, ever since I got on the app. You know, I'm still friends with the people I started with, and we still chat. And, you know, they're learning English, I'm learning Spanish, you know, and we can see the progress in each other. So that's been really fun. And okay, well, that is all of my tips and tricks, and just stick with it. It's a great language, and I think we're going to be, you know, so blessed for learning it. No telling where it's going to take us, what we're going to do with it, if nothing but to help somebody on a street corner that's not sure what direction they need to go in. We'll be able to point them in the right direction in Spanish. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.